Oh, hi there, and greetings from the liberal empire. This is, yeah, I've been playing this game a little bit for hours on end. Whenever I'm not at work, which is barely ever, but I pretty much spend all kinds of time on the weekends on it. This is the ship I switched to. I went to the Cobra Mark III, which is what I should have started with. It's generally just better for the purposes I want than the Viper Mark IV was. Although the Viper Mark IV is a newer model apparently, but the Cobra Mark III, as other people have remarked, it is about the fastest ship you can get, which is important because I do a lot of running away. More often than not, yeah. Although I have been getting a little bit better at dogfighting the bots anyway, so I do sometimes actually stop and take out the pirates that randomly knock me out of hyperspace there. I still haven't figured out much to capture on this game other than the dogfighting when I go to the navigation beacons and hang out to knock out random pirates for money. Although, aside from that, yeah, I'm a long way from getting into everything this game involves. I haven't done any mining. I haven't done any... Oh, what haven't I done? I haven't done anything with the SRV. Nothing at all. I occasionally go down to planets for missions. That's about it. I have this idea that some of these planet missions can be done without an SRV, but I'm not sure exactly how. You know, like recover the guy in the escape pod on the planet's surface. The mission specs don't say you need an SRV, so I kind of wonder. And once or twice I've actually taken one of those missions and gone on them, but I can't find the guy. That's the first problem, is I can't find the guy. You know, it's kind of the specs are a little bit vague on where you go look. Well, they say, well, he's on the planet. Okay, great, he's on the planet. Well, that narrows it down. It could have been anywhere in the fucking galaxy, but now I know he's just on that planet. Well, that's no problem at all, but for some reason I never found the guy. Yeah, okay, well, I got tired. I was flying around at random and said, well, you know what, there's something I'm missing here. Maybe I'll just go do what I know how to do for a while. So that's what I do. I've got these, I've got this ship upgraded as far as I can get it, as far as I know, unless there's other weapons or armor or anything that's going to be unlocked later. I pretty much upgraded everything on this ship as far as I can go, except for the weapons. I'm still using the beam lasers. I think they're the D1 beam lasers on the gimbals and the cannons on the gimbals. Probably E1 cannons because they're small mounts. There are some slightly more powerful weapons that I could get. I think there's a plasma accelerator and a railgun. The only problem with those being that they don't come with gimbals or turrets or any of that stuff. They're all directly targeting, which means that in order to use them, you actually have to point your ship at the guy. That's kind of a gray area for me. You know, I'm all for having a really powerful weapon. Not so sure I can actually manage to point the ship at the guy to hit him with it. You know, and hello, is this thing working? Yeah, it's working. Okay. Yeah, and I have to say that in theory anyway, my thinking on this is that it doesn't matter if you got a really powerful weapon if you can't hit nothing with it. So I'm staying with these things because I know how to hit shit with these things. It's much easier. I don't have to actually be able to control the ship, which is very helpful for someone like me, you know. So yeah, I've got the weapons that don't require me to aim, and I've got a really fast ship for running away. So I'm set up. That's what I need, you know. Especially, well, yeah. What's this guy? This guy is I think that's just a vulture. Yeah, these are bots anyway. It doesn't even matter. A vulture. What did I say? A vulture? He's not a vulture. He's a what do they call it? No, it's a federal gunship, you know. That's why I'm showing this one, because you go into these nav beacons, and mostly what you get, you get some guy who's an elite pilot in a Sidewinder, and then you get a novice in an Anaconda, They mix it up like that for you. But once in a while you screw up and you get an expert in one of these Imperial Clippers, which is pretty effective ship, although not very hard to kill once you actually hit them. But yeah, you get these guys in these federal gunships and shit. They come through here, and if they're in there with a squadron, if they've got any wing pilots and shit, they can be trouble. It's very easy to get killed. Now, well, the main thing I've been doing in this game is shipping the liberal propaganda, of course, because I must help the liberal empire. That's a real problem. My real goal with that, of course, has nothing to do with helping the liberal empire, of course. Really what I'm trying to do is build my way up to get the $50 billion, the $50 million, the payoff, the $50 million salary. That's what I really want. But I've been looking at that over time, and I'm not entirely convinced I have any idea how to accomplish that, because I've been looking at it, I've been doing the math, and it looks to me like I must be missing something here, because what it comes down to is at some point, in order to get that $50 million payoff, at some point, I'm going to have to move like 1,500 tons, or units, whatever the hell they are, 1,500, whatever they are, I'm going to have to move 1,500 of them from the control systems to wherever these things are needed. Okay? Now, this ship here can hold 30. Okay? And I got to move 1,500. What does that tell you? And what's worse than that, is at my current level, I can only load 15 units onto the ship at a time, and then I got to wait half an hour. I can either wait half an hour, or I can spend $150,000 and then load the other 15. Okay? Yeah. Well, work it out. If I settle for moving 15 at a time, that's 100 trips, ain't it? Yeah. And I got a week to do this. Now, how long do you think it's going to take me? Playing this game on the weekends and for an hour or two after work. How long do you think it's going to take me to make that many trips? Seriously. 100 trips. And each trip takes, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Round trip. 15, yeah, at least. Yeah, a good 20 minutes round trip. Well, what's 20 minutes times 100? Where's my math at? It's 2,000, right? 2,000 minutes? Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good 612. Was that 20 hours? Yeah, I'm not seeing the possibility in this. Now, one idea I had was, well, what I need to do here is go buy a cheap freighter, right? That might help. There's some fairly cheap freighters that I could get, and maybe I could run. I don't remember the figures, but 50 or 100 or whatever these things will hold. Actually, I believe the figures they give you for what they hold when you buy the thing is not this. They'll actually hold more. Like this ship I'm in now, when you buy it, it's rated at like 18 or something like that. But then you fit it out with bigger cargo holds and don't put a shitload of stuff into it. You can hold 30, 32. So yeah, these things will hold a little bit more than what they say they will, I think, if they're set up right. But even if I do that, even if I get a freighter so I can move shitloads of liberal propaganda wherever I want to in the galaxy, it doesn't really help because I can still only load, 15 every half hour. Or if I get to the next level, I can move, 20 every half hour? Or 25? I think at the top level, where you're already making the 50 million, you can only move 50 an hour. I'm not seeing this. Even if I take that big salary they give me, the 50,000 a week I'm getting now, even if I take that, 50,000 wouldn't even. even if I took that and spent it back to so that I could load up, you know, the maximum at a time, you know, without waiting the half an hour, it still wouldn't be enough, you know. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm missing here. You know, there must be some other way to make these credits besides just moving the liberal propaganda. There's got to be another way to do it because, well, I don't know. I guess I have to make the attempt. I mean, there's other things you can do. You know, I mean, you can get on the powers map there and work out. Well, you know, I don't have to go all the way over here to a control system because there's one over here that's a little bit closer, and you can work out a route there and go a little. And close up the loop a little bit, you know, and decrease the amount of time you're making on the runs, and yeah, that might help maybe. Yeah, I think there's some angle here that I'm definitely missing on that, but it's still something to do, you know. It's worthwhile. I'm pretty sure I can at least get to level 3 there, I think it is. Or is it level 0? Did they start from 0 or did they start from 1? It's the third one up from the. It's 2 up from the one you started. I believe it's the one where you have to make 750 a week. That one I'm pretty sure I can do and probably maintain it possibly. The one above that, a little problematic. Not sure how I'm gonna manage that one. I might actually manage to get to it once or twice. But you gotta make that same ungodly contribution every week to keep that rank, or they drop you a rank, is what they say. So, is this another federal gunship? This is a federal assault ship. Yeah, this one I think is gonna get me burned up. These guys are. Yeah, these guys get out here and they can cause you trouble. Especially in this case, I believe what happened here is he gets me cut out of the herd, and he's going to start running me all over the sky and shit because everybody else just backed off and didn't want to fight him anymore. That's the way these bots are. You can't count on them to run up in front of you and take all the fire. They might just run off and leave you to die, which is a terrible thing. Yeah. Yeah, they are a problem. Oh. Oh yeah, that right there is basically the reason why I'm running all this stuff, is because I want to get one of these ships myself. You know, I know it can be done. I'm sure it can be done. It's just a matter of, well, you can either do it by running your propaganda or by scamming around and doing a hell of a lot of trading. I mean, you can find the really profitable trade loops and just run them over and over and over and over again. Yeah, there's different ways to make money in this game for sure. Run a lot of slaves. You can do that. But yeah, you know, I might be getting a little bit too obsessed. I probably ought to try to get into mining. I mean, there's a shitload of really high-paying mining jobs. Although I understand that you get into the mining locations and you start running into pirates, so that's problematic. And when you outfit one of these shits for mining, you necessarily have to dedicate your, like, you know, at least one of your weapons mounts to a mining laser. So that's going to cut down on your firepower. And I don't know what kind of cargo space you want to have on a mining ship, but I would guess that you'd want it to be fairly large. And then you got to have a refinery on the damn thing. So yeah, my guess is that, you know, once you get done with all this, you might end up with something that's a little bit more susceptible to these pirates. You could also go into piracy too, but then you got to load up with the interdict device, cargo scanner, and you'd probably want to have one or two other things as well. And then, you know, what are you going to do? You know, you're going to knock out these bot pilots and get their loads of fish, you know, and their scrap and their bio waste. You know, even if you get something like platinum, well, you know, like how many tons of that are you gonna get? Yeah, I'm in trouble now, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't feel ready at all to go up against human pilots. I mean, not at all, because I know they can. I know the human pilots can be a lot more sophisticated than these bots can be. They can do. I don't know if the bots do things like, you know, like target your thrusters or shit like that, but I know there's ways to do that. You can go into these menus and target different parts of the ship. I don't know if the bots do that, but I'm pretty sure some of these human players would. That could be problematic. But, you know, at least with this ship, at least with the Cobra Mark III here, I can play the easy game of running in, shooting the guy up a little bit, and then if he starts doing me any real damage, I can just switch the power distributor all over onto the shields and the engines and run the hell away from him. Although it's surprising to me how much range these federal ships have. These federal ships have a hell of a lot of range with their weapons. I was amazed. I was like running out like most of these ships. You get out beyond like 3 kilometers and they can't hit you at all. They'll just stop. They can't hit anything. They'll just stop firing. I've been up against the federal assault ship and these kind of guys. You know, I start running away from them. I'll get out ahead of them like 5, 6, 7 kilometers. He's still firing missiles at me. Not that they're ever gonna hit me, but you know, he can still target me and fire them. It's amazing how much. Yeah, some of these weapons have a lot of range with these guys. Okay. Am I still going up against this guy? Yeah, federal assault ship. I'm down to about 50%. I'm still firing at the guy. I must be nuts. There's no way I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm probably gonna end up running away. Yeah, you go charging at him, he just comes straight at you. He's got the chaff going, so I can't target the guy. I think I'm just running away. I must be. Yeah, I'm definitely running away. I don't know if I'm running away permanently, but I'm definitely getting the hell away from him. Yeah, I'm just getting out of range so that somebody else can get his attention and shoot at him for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna come in again. As long as I got some shields. Okay. Oh, we might actually kill this guy. Yeah, we got him down to about 15%, don't we? I got target on the cannons if I can get them to fire. That's another problem I got, is I got these silly cannons, and you know, I don't know if yeah, that's something I don't know about. You know, these weapons, I don't know if I got them configured right, because the cannons, they seem like they fire about once every 10 or 20 seconds. You know, it's weird, because the last ship I had the same weapons, and the cannons would fire much more frequently. These are the same cannons. And I don't know if this ship just doesn't put out as much power and the cannons don't have enough power to fire, or what the hell is going on. I've gone into the ship power configuration, and I've tried to deprioritize as much stuff as possible. You know, make stuff class 4, class 3, class 2 as much as I can to spare as much power for the weapons and the thrusters and the shields, of course, but doesn't seem to help. I mean, I can understand that the beam lasers, you know, they lose their charge and then they don't want to fire, or they overheat and they don't want to fire, and then, oh, that was it. Yeah, 82,000 for him. That was pretty good. Okay, well that's about it for that. It'll be back to UT3 after this for a while. Have a good evening.